What's going on, everybody? Got some presents in the mail from Jomashop today. Just got back from a little work/vacation trip, and I got 3 out of the 4 fragrances I ordered. The one said they didn't have in stock. It said ships in 1 to 2 weeks, as I'm sure some of you guys have seen before on Jomashop. But whatever, we'll get that when we get it. These are basically my favorite fragrances from the other day when Cody and I went to some different stores and did some sampling. The one that's not here is that Penguin Reserve, which I'm really excited about. I would go as far to say as that's the best sub $25 fragrance that I've ever smelled. On discounters, of course. I think it was like $65 in Boscov's or whatever it was, but $24.99 on Jomashop. So if you're new to the game, not wanting to spend a bunch of money, definitely check that out. I feel like it's mass appealing, blind buy safe. Everybody will love it, and it's 25 bucks, so why not add it to your collection? A couple of my friends actually messaged me on Facebook like, "Hey man, I saw your video the other day. Added that to I bought that." So that's pretty cool. But yeah, these are 3 designer fragrances. All of them are designers, yes. And so basically I'm trying to get into like collecting, you know. I don't want like a huge super massive collection and all that. I'm not looking to spend like $1 million on it or anything, but I feel like there's certain brands that are like staples to any collection. Didn't necessarily want to go out and get like just like the plain version of them just to have it sitting on the you know, on my little display there. So basically what I did was I wanted to go in, I wanted to, you know, test out what my favorite designers were, and basically of some of those, get my favorite flanker of that house. And that's kind of what we did here. One of these houses I didn't really plan on buying any fragrances from, because I think their marketing and like their bottles and stuff are, the bottle looks kind of cool, but it just doesn't really go with like fragrances to me. It goes more with like war. So you probably know what that is. But I really like the smell, so at the end of the day, we're buying the scent, not the bottle, not the brand. So I ended up getting it. But anyway, these are, so I'll just jump right into it. The first one is Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. So I've heard a lot of really good things about this one. I've always, ever since I got into fragrances, I've always loved the Valentino bottles. They're like the, you know, spiky black, like menacing looking bottle. I didn't realize that these, I believe all of them are EDTs, maybe like the extra dose and intense and stuff for EDPs. But I've heard that for EDTs, they actually perform really good. So this is Coral Fantasy. We'll be testing that out. This and Yellow Dream, I think it was called, were my favorite in the Valentino lineup from what they had at the store. Anyway, there was probably a couple that were missing, but I really like this one a lot. Let's go ahead and test her out again. Yeah, that's good. It's sweet. I typically don't like really sweet fragrances, but this, I feel like this is really well balanced. Like it's got a sweet, I guess like a apple or something like that, and then I believe it also has tobacco in it, like tobacco leaf. Obviously not like cigarette tobacco, but it's got tobacco leaf in it, which as a note I typically enjoy that. So I think that kind of balances out some of the sweetness in this, and it just gives you a really pleasant smell. Like it's like a sweet, luxurious, seductive smell. And that, actually, I think it's funny with these 3. I feel like all 3 of these fragrances are like very like seductive, and it's also interesting because I would also give each of them like a 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. I don't think any of them are anything that's gonna like put me on the floor, which is kind of like what I would eventually like to build my fragrance collection around, is like just wow, like all wow fragrances. Maybe a couple just like, you know, safe bets. But yeah, very seductive. 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. Love it. Curious to see what the performance like, because it is an EDT concentration, which I go nose blind to stuff really quickly. So typically I don't buy EDTs because they, to my nose, they last for like, you know, 10 minutes. But I've heard that for an EDT, these tend to last really long. So we'll find out. Next one is, so I need like, I don't have a whole lot of like date night, you know, sexy, seductive, nighttime, date night, winter type fragrances. So I wasn't even looking for something like that, but the fact that I found one was like really cool, because most of the stuff that I have are freshies. So I actually was going in there to look at Tom Ford's ombre leather, because I knew there was, I guess there's 3. There's probably more, but there's three, like EDT, EDP, and then the Parfum. I think everybody, from what I can see online and everything, typically everybody likes the Parfum a lot. I went in and smelled them. I like the EDP. I thought that that was right, but I wanted to go in and smell them again and confirm that. So I like the EDP the best, but I think leather as a whole for me is just like not my favorite note. I can respect it. It smells very luxurious, but it's just like pure leather to me. I like stuff that's, you know, mixed with leather, but pure leather to me, it's just like a super rich guy's black leather couch is what ombre leather smells like. And again, not a bad smell, just, you know, I wanted something, you know, more than that. So when I smelled this next one, I was really kind of like blown away because this is exactly what it says it is. It's Victor and Rolf, it's Spice Bomb Dark Leather, and that's exactly what it smells like. It smells like spiced dark leather. And I really like that because it's not just straight up leather. Super good. I feel like if Batman wore a fragrance, this is the one he would wear. Not only because it's like an actual, like, you know, grenade that you have to do all that. So this was the war one, right? Let's check it out again. Ooh, I missed. I got it on my hand though. Yeah, that's really good. Definitely like a seductive, like date night fragrance. I feel like anybody would enjoy it though. Lots of spices in there. I really like that. It's not just straight up leather. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm glad to have like something I can wear out on like cooler nights, date nights, things like that. Let me put my little pin back in here before I lose it. And then, last but not least, we have Acqua di Gio Profondo. You know, I've got a couple like small, I don't know if they're 1 ounce bottles or whatever, of ADG. I think I have the EDT, EDP, and the Parfum. So I was really kind of like, I really like the Parfum of this. But I feel like with ADG being kind of like a summertime, you know, based fragrance anyway, I was like, why not get the most summertime version of that? Because like I said, I really like the Parfum, but especially now that I have something like this, it's like, you know, the Parfum is not optimal probably for summertime. Maybe like a cooler summer night or something like that. So I was like, you know what? If I'm getting summer fragrance, we're gonna go all in with the summer scent. So this was sort of kind of a blind buy for me because this is the older formulation. I think they call it the 2020 formulation, and the newer one is the 2024, I guess, formulation. So the older bottles are just like solid blue like this, and the newer ones have a gradient where it's like clear at the bottom and it goes blue towards the top. So the one that I sampled in the store was the 2024 formulation. So I was like, you know what, let's roll the dice on this a little bit. I heard that a lot of people tend to like this one better because it's a little deeper, and I do agree with that. I think this smells a little bit more green in general than the one I remember smelling in the store, which was the 2024. So I really like this. Let's check it out. Again, I've already smelled these. I had to open them up. Yeah, super good, super fresh. This reminds me of like when we were in Antigua, not Antigua, evidently, we were corrected on that, but Antigua, we went there. This reminds me of, it was like Nelson's Marina or Nelson's Boatyard or something like that. I'm probably messing that up, but this reminds me of that, like super wealthy, like dock area where there's like lots of big like yachts and nice sailboats and stuff like that, but like saltwater. Yeah, that's really good. But it has that little bit of like greenness to it. It's not just straight up blue. But to me, all of the Acqua di Gios anyway, they all have like but they have a very similar scent profile. I think it's just like minute differences between them. I like all of them. I think I probably like this. The Parfum is really good, but it is like a little bit more, maybe not like high heat summer. The EDP is really good too. I wore that the other day for the first time because I just have the little mini bottles. So I don't want to like use them all. Just so I can remember what they smell like. But I did use it the other day, and I could smell it on me like, you know, throughout the day, and I really did like it. So I think I made a good choice with this one. Like I said, if we're gonna go with ADG, which is a summer staple, let's just go with the most summery one, right? So yeah, overall, like super happy with this pickup. I'm not somebody who knows like a ton about fragrances and is like super deep in the fragrance game. So if you guys are fairly new to it, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these three. They're all very seductive, and that's one thing I'm starting to learn about myself with fragrances in general, is I like the really like seductive, like sharp smells. I'm not a big fan of like the powdery, flat, pastel-ish, like that. That's the words that come to mind. I like the sharper, more like ooh, like fragrances, and all three of these are that. They're definitely on the sharper side versus the duller side of scents. They're all seductive, but I would say that these two are fresh. This one's kind of like actually in like a weird middle ground because it is fresh, but it smells like it's got some like deeper, heavier stuff in there too, which is funny for EDT. And then this one obviously is more like seductive nighttime or like maybe like winter, but this one's, let me pull my pin out. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. I like all three of these. I'm really happy with these. And when I get the penguin in, I think I'm going to be really happy with that too. If it smells like anything like it did in the mall, that's a really cool fragrance. So anyway, hopefully you guys like this review, and maybe this will help somebody out who's kind of new to the game and not wanting to trust some of these like bigger fragrance influencers. Not that you shouldn't, but I hear, and this is my experience, like as a newer person too, is that a lot of these guys are paid off. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I definitely can see, where it could be. But I have no affiliation with any of these. So if you're new to the game, you're looking for a trusty fragrance, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these three or the Penguin Reserve. It actually kind of is the same color as this, but it's the Penguin Reserve that's like all dark blue. So yeah, if you guys liked it, I'm hoping to get this channel kind of up and going more, putting out more videos. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon on the next one.